Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Elin. Elin is from Sweden, so let's see what Elin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello Elin, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's going good. I've been at the gym and then in the garden, so
I
it's been
think,
nice.
yeah, my goodness. Today I went to the gym this morning as well, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be a warm day today. And it's amazing. I think, summer is just knocking the door to arrive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's true. It's just like it's amazing. Like I love it. So,
So tell me, where are you based in England?
well, I'm not based I don't live in England anymore. So
Ah,
I left. Yeah, so I'm back in Sweden.
oh
So,
my God, really? I
yeah.
thought that you were living in England. I thought.
Well, I used to. I used to live in England for many years, and then I
Uh-huh.
moved back home. So yeah.
So tell me, where in Sweden you are based?
I'm based actually in a very small village, about an hour outside Stockholm. So it's
Okay.
just forest everywhere. Like,
Oh my God. So I believe in Sweden, it's a great day today as well, the weather.
yeah, yeah, it really is.
I think around Europe right now, I think, we are blessed. I think this time of the year, people, they just get happier. They're outside, outdoors, they are in the
Hmm.
parks. I think this time of the year is just magical.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it is.
others, like others as well. I love the winter. I love as well the autumn. But I think people, they are more outdoors during the summertime, the spring.
Hmm.
See.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. When I was checking your profile, I could see that you are an actress, you are a podcaster, you are a filmmaker. Oh my God! So walk me through a little bit about your career.
Well, I started as an actor in my teens. And I was lucky enough to go to a school that also had like a channel. So everybody was professionals. There were professional actors, professional editors. So I was really trained by pretty much the best of the best,
Wow,
and yeah, and it has just continued. I've done work. My podcast I started because I love crime and I love mysteries and I love
uh-huh.
talking about it. So, and I decided, how about I just, do a podcast. First, I did a short videos on my Instagram, and then, you know, I started doing it on, like podcast instead. So,
Amazing. I
yeah.
think when you are an artist, you can do such different things. You know what I mean? You can follow different careers and still be happy. At the same time as
Yeah.
well, you are literally expressing yourself in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just love it. I love to be able to be creative and express myself, and it it is I feel so blessed, you know, to be part of it, and I've also been like I've had the lucky part to explore other work just to see like if, like, side jobs, unfortunately our entire industry pretty much went up and died during the pandemic. So, but I've tried it, and it has actually other work have made me realize that filmmaking and acting and podcasting is really my true calling.
Amazing.
And yeah, so
Amazing. I think when we find our path in life and you don't feel like work, you just feel like having the greatest time. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Am I saying your name right, Elin?
I mean, yeah, you can pronounce it. Otherwise, it's actually Elin-Margareta, but you can say Eileen or
So
Lynn. So
how usually people call you? Elin-Margareta or just Elin?
you can call me Elin.
Okay.
It's different. It varies from person to person. So
All right. So, Elin, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So, I have here my lovely box full of random fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay, Lynn, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, for some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? First question for you is, what scares you the most about your future?
I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I think what scares me the most pretty much goes like hand in hand privately and professionally is that I'm scared that I'm going to let my career take over my entire life, and just when I'm 70, I'm going to sit there with a career but no family, except for my family that I was born into. I love them very much, but then it scares me that I'm gonna only settle because I don't want to be like, oh, just having my career. So that scares me a lot.
It's interesting saying that, Elin, because I think all of us, we have that, you know what I mean? I think we know we want to follow our passion in life, but at the same time as well, you know, we go like, oh my God, I just don't want to do that. I want to have my life, my private, like my personal life as well, success somehow, you know what I mean? Maybe with a family or maybe in a different way. I think there are no rules. I think, you know, but at the same time as well, I understand. I think all of us, including myself, we have those, you know, sometimes those moments when you go like, oh my God, am I going the right direction? That's what I really want to do. You know what I mean? But I think everything comes with time, and the older we get more understanding about it. As you mentioned about your family, tell me who in your family you are more connected with, you feel more close to.
Well, I feel very close to both my parents, but I also like I have two older sisters, so I'm very close with them.
Yeah.
But I think I'm connected with all of them in a certain, like we all have different connections all together, so we're all close. So.
And all your family, your parents, they support you regarding your career?
Yes.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
It is okay to ask extra questions, you know, to be okay. That is what they need to know for both of them, you know, when you start a relationship. It is okay to ask one more question, you know, because if you do that, then, you know, you can ask many questions, you know, through a relationship, but at the same time, like, just open and honesty, I think it's two extremely like important things that goes, plus also that you love each other, but open and honesty, you know, and ask questions.
Yes, absolutely. I think communication, you know, be open to the person you are sharing a life with. I think that's the main key, because, you know, if you're not going to feel comfortable and open and ask questions to the closest person you are, you know, sharing a life, it's something that should concern, because you should be open and, you know, to talk about anything. And as you said, ask any kind of question.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Even how uncomfortable it is.
Totally.
Because if you are ready to ask an uncomfortable question, then you have to also understand that that person is going to ask you a very uncomfortable question. So it's like, if you're not comfortable with that, then don't ask any questions.
Totally. Next question. Let's do it. hailing from Sweden. Before the next question, tell me why England? Why did you spend some time here in the UK?
Well, I moved years ago to London with a friend. It was actually my friend who moved first, and I finished. I had like some stuff that I needed to finish in Sweden, so we moved, for school and work, and it just I spent 8.5 years in England. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I had a both. I had great times and bad times there, but like England is, a very interesting place actually.
And when you are from Sweden, tell me what's the best part of living in Sweden, in your opinion?
The best part, I mean, apart from, it is beautiful here, and yeah, I have my family here. I I think the best part is the Swedish way of, being, I mean, in the end, we're all very chilled out people. So, and that is a good way. And it's beautiful.
For sure. Next question is, tell us about your earliest memory in life.
I don't know. I mean, there is this memory that keeps on popping up in my head. And I'm not sure if that's one of the strongest ones that I have, but I remember watching. Have you seen it with Tim Curry?
It is
The dancing clown Pennywise and Tim Curry. There was a miniseries in the late 80s, early 90s.
I'm not sure actually.
So Tim Curry plays Pennywise the dancing clown, and there was it's a Stephen King novel, and they did a miniseries of that. And I remember watching that, and I remember watching it. That's one of the strongest memories I have, but like that I can come up with, because I wasn't watching it alone. I was watching it with, my sisters and a few like friends, but that's what I remember the strongest. But then, spending time like in Spain and stuff like that also, but watching it is absolutely the strongest memory I have from, one of the earliest. So
Tim Curry is the English actor, the one who he plays a lot in theater, or not?
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot of theater, but he was also in Home Alone 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the manager of the hotel. Yeah, the manager of the hotel. I'm just asking because actually I met him. Actually, I used to work in a 5-star hotel back a few years ago in Piccadilly Circus. Yeah, and Piccadilly. I think it's Piccadilly Theatre by the Phantom of the Opera. There is like in front. There's another theater there. So he was playing there like for a season, or I think it was 2 months, and he stayed in the hotel. It was just next door. So he stayed there in the hotel for a month. So he was there, and I was working room service. Yeah, so I remember he was ordering dinner. He was always, and he was such a great guy. And he was always like, talking to everyone, all the department housekeepers, he was going to the restaurant as well. So yes, I remember him. He got this very unique smile.
I know. He's awesome.
Yeah. Next question. All right. Next question is, what makes you feel discouraged?
Now is, I think it's pretty much like me, myself.
Tell me why.
Because I think that you as a person is your biggest challenge in life. It's also your biggest mentor in life, and it can also be your biggest enemy. Like I posted this tweet, I think it was yesterday, and it of being a supervillain. Like it's because and that was just something like, because that wasn't like being mean or anything, but it was like for me to be like, yeah, I'm being a supervillain. But what makes me like being discouraged is back in the days, me, I wouldn't be able to post that. Like even if it's like it's a day to be a supervillain. And today it is also me, because I am like the biggest one, because like you are yourself, like the biggest mentor, your biggest villain, your biggest cheerleader, um, your biggest friend, and your biggest foe. So
Absolutely. I was about to say that we are our best friend as well at the same time. And it's so true. And I think that's what our personality is about. Some days we are, living the best. The other
mhm.
day you are judging yourself for some reason. The other day you're feeling down. The other day you're feeling. And the
Mhm.
interesting thing is sometimes, I don't know if it happened to you, but it happened to me sometimes. For example, those days you just wake up feeling down for no reason. You know what I mean? You have no energy. You just feel like overthinking. Those days. You just, for no reason at all. You just have those days. And sometimes now I accept it. When I feel like that, sometimes I go, okay, another day. Let me carry on with my day because I just wake up this way. And sometimes through the day, it changes. Do you know what I mean? It happens to me like
Yeah,
literally. I remember waking up and said, oh, okay, I'm not feeling well. I don't know why, but I'm not feeling my best today. And my day carried on and suddenly I just felt the happiest for some reason. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it happened to you, but for me, sometimes it happened that as well. Not a lot, but it can happen.
yeah. I mean that has happened to me quite often. Um, and a friend of mine, she she said this. Um, Now, Ellen, you're overthinking. Like the wheels are starting to move. Like you need to stop overthinking everything. And she says the wheels are starting again. Like it's because I can't just stop letting stuff. And it's yeah. So because I mean I know exactly how you what you're saying. It's like I've
Yeah.
had those days.
In Brazil, we say, back in Brazil, I remember my friends, they used to say, when your mind is empty for some reason, you're not busy, that's when the little evils start coming. The little evils, they come and they
Mm-hmm.
hit. And the last time when I fell down for some reason, like in the morning, I was like, oh my God, the evils are coming. Let me put them away. So it can happen. I think all of us we are, and that's interesting in a way as well because that's
Yeah.
the when you learn about yourself as well. Do you know what I mean? That's you don't
Yeah.
when you are going through, you don't understand much because you don't want to feel that way. But in the end of the day, you are just learning. Going through that
Mm-hmm.
day is the only way for you to learn something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not easy, but it's part.
Yeah.
Ready for another question?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next one. Next question for you is what was your biggest punishment? Sorry, what was the biggest punishment you ever received?
I think the biggest, like the biggest real punishment I have received, like, of course I deserved, like the grounding, of course, you know, I was a stupid kid. Um, but I there can be so many stuff, like, the biggest punishment. I think the biggest, like punishment is also, I'm gonna go back to yourself, like to myself, because in the end, like we spoke about, like friends and foes, it's in being yourself and how you create like the biggest punishments,
Mhm.
because in the end, the biggest punishment is from yourself that you put on yourself.
Totally. And sometimes they're the hardest one, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because you know how to punish yourself.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, it happens a lot. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next one, tell me a little bit about your podcast.
So my podcast is called The Untitled Show by EMN, and right now it's on hiatus. Um, and it will come back the new season uh, next month. So yeah, so at the end of next month,
Uh-huh.
you're yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's about unsolved cases, mysteries, aliens, ghosts, and yeah. I mean, I just talk, and I can talk for a few minutes or longer, and I sometimes I circle back to certain cases, that are very interesting. I want to talk about it again, or sometimes I make extra episodes for it.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's just stuff that I'm interested in, and that I've seen other people talk about, and and I also want to talk about it. So
All right. Next question is, what are three fun facts about yourself?
uh I do love Halloween. I live Halloween every single day. Yeah. I have crooked fingers, so I do the whole ET phone home.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
I need to show you something. Look what I can do with my one.
Oh, that's awesome.
I cannot do with this one. I can't with this one, but this
Yeah.
one here, I do it. People go like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
don't show me that."
It's funny because I'll be like, yeah, and they're like, oh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's I well, a fun fact is, oh, I think it's fun. I grow pumpkins too.
Very fun. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's because
Yeah.
of the Halloween that you live every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing. I was checking your profile a little bit actually, and I could see some pictures of yourself. You know what I mean, with some makeup, like dark makeup, or like
Yeah.
black dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best Halloween, actually. Yes, I had an interview yesterday with a lovely man in New Orleans, in Louisiana, in the USA, and there was a question about what's your favorite holiday season of the year. He said Halloween. I loved Halloween, and I was telling him that the best Halloween I ever had. I don't know in Sweden if it right. I think right now, I think around the world, Halloween is a big thing. Yeah, in October, but back in Brazil, I remember growing up. I started very slow. You know what I mean? We wasn't like wow, but of course in the US, one of the biggest, you know what I mean, holiday season. And I was working for Disney Cruise Line in Disney World, a few years ago, and it meant to happen when the Halloween was happening. Oh my God, I was in the middle of the sea in this massive ship, and it was Halloween night, so everyone was dressed up. I'll tell you something. Oh my God, people, they literally, I felt like in a movie. You know what I mean? Everything perfect, all their costumes, they dress up so perfectly. I was like, oh my God, it's a big thing here in the US for sure, because everyone was literally having the time of their lives, like literally. For me, I could even like choose the best, costume, because all of them, they were just amazing. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, that's something big to remember. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
best Halloween ever. I can say that was the best, not the best, but the most impressive Halloween, you know what I mean, that I ever been. I've been to Halloween parties dressed up, but that one was like, wow, that's something big.
Yeah. When I used to live in LA, and I remember I I was crossing like from my school, and I was going to another school, and like our campuses was divided up in three,
Right.
parts. So you had to cross like several houses, to get to one campus. And it was during like this was about a month before Halloween, and one house of that entire street was just packed like of Halloween stuff, and it was a month before, and I was like, whoa, and my
Yeah.
family was like, wow, they're really going for it.
You should take the idea as well and put your house like the very Halloween
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Right. So I have three questions left for you. Okay, let's do
Hmm.
it. Next question is, what do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
The best trait is, you know, under like being understanding. like, and kind is, pretty much like inside of that, being, um, a, it's just, you can be adventurous, but also at the same time, just, it's okay. Like, one great trait that I like with people is if they're okay to not, being adventurous all the time. It's okay to sit home on the sofa and just shut the entire world out, but at the same time want to go and hike, and just do fun stuff.
Very good. And I totally agree with you. I think when I was a teenager, when I came to Europe and I was 19 years old, and I imagine living in Europe, alone and 19, and I was discovering the words, and I was calling my sister. I was like, oh my God, you need to come. It's a different world. You need to come. There's a lot of possibilities. And she was like, oh no, I love here. I want to be here. And I could understand that,
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays I understand that it's okay to, to follow whatever you think is right for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, learning. That's how we learn.
Yeah.
2 questions left. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Before the next one, tell me through your career, yeah? As an actor or a podcaster, a filmmaker, tell me one moment or a situation that you're gonna go like, you know what? These moments I'll never forget.
Oh, well, a moment, like, I have so many amazing stuff, like amazing feelings and moments that I met, but one moment that happened recently was that I will never forget because of just, it sort of broke, down, a barrier, like a crutch, like a barrier. It stopped, like, it was actually because I went to do some photo shoots. I had asked for like doing some new headshots, and when this girl that I know named Madeline, Madeline Wikström, an amazing photographer, and she just like, oh, I can take some photos of you, and we decided to, just go out, like, in the area around here, but also in another town that's like a little bit bigger called Eskilstuna. And we started to, take some photos. And that is a moment I will never forget, because in the end, working with her was just like, okay, let's just wing it. Let's just do it. And we got some amazing photographs. And that has sort of like helped me break down a lot of, like, I was so, almost stiff in a certain way. Like, I felt like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I've had friends and colleagues, who said like, you are so great. One who's always pushed me and said like, you're fantastic has always been my friend Mark Denham. He's always said like, you can do anything you want and you're talented. But I mean, and I've always listened to Mark, but working with Madeline has always been, she's helped me, to just not be afraid, just go for it. And so working with Madeline is a moment, that I will never forget. And also working with Mark, it's moments that I will never forget because he's awesome. So.
Both of them are invited for the Magic Box, and I can see both of them now watch the interview and smiling because your beautiful words. I'm sure they're gonna appreciate that.
I'm gonna let them know.
Yes. Next question is, would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? And what would you do?
I was like not visible. That I was as a child, so, and I want to be able to fly.
And if you could fly anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I've never been to New Orleans, and that is a dream I want to go to. Like, I really want to go there. So.
Okay. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Last question. Let's do it. Before the last question, people watching the interview right now, they would like to start a career, in acting or filmmaking or also, you know, anything as an artist, yeah? What would be your
Mhm.
best piece of advice?
Best advice is, of course, have like a good support system. Your family is, they're gonna be there, and even if they are brutally honest with you, it's because they know you and they love you. Um, and constantly, like, don't ever stop educating yourself. Like, because I stopped for a long time to go like to acting courses and everything, and I started to like feel that I wasn't, like doing my best as an actor. And like, I know that I mentioned Mark, like he constantly educated himself. So I was
Oh,
inspired by him, and I found this amazing, teacher who for 30 minutes, like she was just absolutely brilliant. It felt like, when you go to the gym and you're like exhausted, like even if it was just acting, like every single time she just like, okay, let's do this. And I was like, and it was just, and it was a great feeling. It was so amazing. Like, and yeah, so I like never stop educating yourself. Like always go, always explore. Um, and when you're going to auditions and you feel that you don't want to go alone, it's okay to have someone with you, as long as you inform the audition people that you're going to have someone with you, so that person can sit either outside and wait. They're not allowed to go in, like inside, but it's okay to have someone with you when you audition. And it's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to fail, because you
mhm,
will succeed also.
for sure. It's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
Last question is, when have you been the most happy?
Like when I'm on set, like I'm the most happiest. But I have, like, I'm also like, I have to divide it up for two, because I'm the most happiest when I'm on set, but I'm also the most happiest when I'm with my closest friends and family. And I have two cats, and I am so happy when I'm with them. It's like,
Oh,
so my, like, being on set, and also with my friends and family. So.
amazing. Okay, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Yep.
Let's start with life.
uh, and an adventure.
Okay, family.
Love.
Money.
Happiness.
One word for love.
There is no word for love, because love can be anything.
Amazing. Sex.
uh, um Closeness.
Okay. Politics.
Important, but headache.
Religion.
It is, for me, important.
Okay. Fear.
It's okay.
Friendship.
Amazing.
Desire.
Yes.
Okay.
Desire is yes.
Regret.
It's okay with regret.
Success.
Fun.
Wish.
Come true.
Happiness.
Sunshine.
One word for filmmaker.
creative.
One word for acting.
Star.
One word for Sweden.
Beautiful.
And the last one now, if you could put your podcast in one word, what that would be?
Curious.
And actually, another one for you. One word for Halloween.
Like love.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Elin, and what's something that she still needs to work on, to improve on? What your best friend would say?
Well, I think my best friend would say the most beautiful thing with me is I'm well, that's so difficult. I've my best friend would definitely say I'm an amazing person. Like, I don't want to like toot my horn and say like, yes, I am amazing, but my closest friend have said that to me. So, and what I need to work on is not be so trustworthy to people.
Good
Some
point.
people will stab you in the back.
Listen to your friends, okay? Let's play now. Elin in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Hey, but before you ask me the question, what's your favorite Swedish word?
My favorite Swedish word is löser sig, or it's more like it works out. Everything works out, and yeah.
Oh, nice one. Can you say it again?
Löser. Well, it's actually I said löser, so I said two words, löser sig, but
okay.
In the end, löser, it's pretty much it works, like it works out. So yeah.
All right, you can ask me a question now.
Yeah. So you asked me where I would love to, travel to or fly to. Where would you love to fly to?
Good question, actually. Where I would fly somewhere right now at this moment. Where would I go? Oh my God, so many places going through my mind now. So many places that I want to go, but okay, I'm gonna be, I would fly to Japan right now. I always wanted to go to Japan. I think, I can't wait for one day to spend some time there. I think I'm gonna go back a different person. I can't wait to, to spend, as I mentioned before, I was working hospitality hotels before. And when we had Japanese guests, oh my God, the way they look at, to you, the way they approach you, the way they interact to you, it's something unique, something powerful that I never seen any other nationality. And it's so beautiful, you know what I mean? And it's amazing the way they, they talk to you, they're everything about the Japanese culture. I'm fascinated, and I can't wait one day to spend some time there. So yeah, I would go to Japan for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're not just polite, but it's the way that they are. It's it's genuine.
It's genuine. Yes, it's genuine. And actually, when I had so many guests around the world on the show, like worldwide, but I always wanted to have a Japanese person, and it happened last year, and it was close for me to celebrate my 800 interviews on the show. And of course, his interview was the one, and he was a lovely man. He's actually an artist as well. And he's living in England now because, he works in theater, he's doing musical theater, but we talked a lot about his culture, you know what I mean? We talked a lot, and I explored the most I could, and was so fascinated to see someone from Japan talking about their own culture, and they are aware of it as well. They know, they're aware of the difference. Again, every nationality, we have our beautiful ways of expressing ourselves, you know what I mean? They are not right or wrong, but, particularly for me, I find very fascinating and beautiful the genuine way of, they express themselves. I think it's just fascinating. Eli,
Yeah.
did you enjoy the interview?
I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. So
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we connected.
that's
Thank you
fun.
so much for taking the time for the interview. Thank you for bringing your, your energy to the show. And I'm glad. I'm glad we connected. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yes. What I live by. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been so much fun. My father said this a couple of years ago, and I live by it. Nobody's gonna do. What did he say? You better do it yourself because you better do it yourself because nobody's gonna do it for you.
Amazing.
So it's pretty much like I get my drive from both my parents. So, and when he said that quote, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna live by it.
And it's so true, because at the end of the day, we're always gonna have the support of, our loved ones, people around us. But at the end of the day, it's just down to us to, you know what I mean, to move forward and to get things sorted and to carry on.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and you keep in touch, okay? Thank you for the interview.
Yep.
It was a pleasure.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.